Oh,
I believe what he's saying.
I'm not giving any energy to that, but there's certain things that would need to be brought to the forefront. And if they are the ones that are covering up as well, you just embarrass the others.
Exactly.
So if you're humans, and what does that say about you?
See? And why have the forum?
You give us this platform to speak our minds and bring awareness, and you over here spinning the echoing, chopping me up.
The talking fast, the chopping you up. We can't hear the messages from our brothers and sisters out there. Like, come on.
The information is going to get out there regardless. Whether it's stereo, ID, we try to get in the community and start talking about it. And that's what's going to happen. Oh, yeah. I'm going to play this next message.
Honestly, I think that's why I couldn't come back up, because my spirit team kind of took me down off of the panel. So I'm here listening to you ladies, and much respect to everyone here that, that's here with us listening. But I kind of see now why they took me off. So, but I'm here.
And I understand that, that we appreciate you in the listener section and supporting everybody that's providing any information and knowledge they have on the subject.
Wow.
It's just that
my spirit don't feel right now either.
Oh no, it's a hard topic. It's a hard topic. It's a hard topic. Our children, our elders, everyone. It's real. Human trafficking is real.
Yes, it is.
And I know some of the messages it probably triggered them to sit there and echo and happiness.
Since back in the day, we didn't. It was happening a long time, back in the day too, whether we knew it or not. Because we didn't have social media, we didn't have Instagram and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I grew up in an era where, remember when the Atlanta kids was being...
That's what we just talked about.
Yeah. I grew up in that era. Yeah. And my mother had to always say to me, make sure you know your surroundings. Because there's somebody out here snatching kids.
Yeah.
And I grew up in that. So it really bothers me. And then these kids get on these platforms and doing the stuff they do on here and showing their bodies and talking to these grown, I hate to say it like this, grown ass, old ass men taking advantage.
And women.
Yes.
Yeah. And they just...
I get you.
My spirit ain't right now. I'm getting upset.
And we should be all upset. We should be happy. Yes, definitely. Take some breaths. It's okay. We're going to play these next messages.
Our family, again, it just comes with the territory of striving to do righteousness in a wicked world. So we're definitely going to push through. And if y'all could test by or meet at different times.
Where the echo is coming from, and then when one person is speaking, y'all may have to have only one mic open while the others are muted. Sometimes that works, but we definitely won't be discouraged. We won't be fear-mongered into discontinuing this message, because this is for the betterment of all of humanity. It involves everyone. And
Cuz, mute yourself.
again, much gratitude.
I know, I'm sorry.
For your willingness and bringing these things to the table. And for the family that did not hear, y'all definitely jot down that number, 1-888-373-7888. And all of the information that's available at Alliance Network News. Honestly, y'all family, power is the people. Power up. Love y'all.
Love you too, Dr. Bay, and we appreciate you. As I'm saying, we all have to get in this discussion and talk, and it's triggering for many people because it's happening in front of our faces, and what can we do? Don't turn a blind eye to it. You see something, say something. Teach your children how to protect themselves. Okay? Bring awareness to the schools. Bring awareness in your communities.
Oh, shit. God damn it. Oh, shit. God damn it. Oh, we good then. We good. Oh, shit. God damn it. Oh, we good then. We good.
Am I wrong?
Preach.
We was taught to keep that quiet. We was taught if the uncle touched us, oh no, you can't say nothing. That didn't happen. It's pushed up under the rug. And we have to change that for
that narrative. Because what happens, it trickles down to the next generation and the next generation.
Because I used to always tell my daughter, if anybody touched you when she was little, you come tell me. I don't care if they tell you they gonna kill me, they gonna do this, they ain't gonna do to me. You come and tell me if somebody touches you.
Mo, before you came in, I was letting know about the uncle that was in the family.
Don't mute your mic, Mooney. And say it again, Rock.
I was saying before you came on, Mooney, that in the family we had an uncle that he would always come and sneak up with the children and want you to sit on his lap. And my grandmother taught me that you don't never let nobody put their hand in your candy jar. And I was like, what he doing up here? And, I go and tell, and they took bring him downstairs, but, it was quiet cut. But later on, that cousin came back around after they done did rehab and everything and said, I realized I was being groomed when I was young by being touched by family members and things of that nature, to do the things that I did, So, it hit home. And I realized, I was like, groom? What do you mean by groom? But that's what they doing to these young kids, grooming them. When you touching on them and rubbing on them, shh, be quiet. You get a new pair of sneakers, a new coat, get a car when you're 16. I've seen all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we have to put up and paying bills so you can't say anything. I feel like not so much he would sit in his car and be like, hey, baby, come here, I got $1 for you. And then be like, I'm not going to Uncle so-and-so car. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, oh, bring this food to Uncle. When he came around, I would disappear. Okay? And that's some things that you feel uncomfortable. That's what I'm saying. I resonate with what you said, Rock, because the family makes it okay. Like, that these people have problems in the family with being around little children. So why aren't you saying nothing? And that's why I sat there and observed that as a child. And I'm just like, no, when my child was growing up, if a family member, my daughter was very picky. Like, she don't know nobody kissing her face and her lips. And she was like, I'm like, she just don't want to give you a hug. That's her prerogative. She doesn't have to give you a kiss if she don't want to. She felt uncomfortable. You don't make her. Don't make somebody do something.
My mother always said, don't be sitting in no man's lap. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody say, oh, such and such, oh, come over here and sit on my lap. No. Like,
I got slapped.
my mother was very particular. Because with me, she was very particular. And as I got older, I understood why she was very particular. And
I got slapped across my face for saying that. Because I told him that he was messing. I said that he was messing with family members. And when I got slapped, it was brought to the other person's attention.
But that's what I'm saying. There is secret.
When we're talking, you gotta mute yourself. So one person talks, another person mutes. So we gotta keep in mind, because you know that they're messing with the airways and some the energy. So we want to keep the flow going, and we want to hear what you all are saying. So please, I know when we have other talks, we're able to talk between each other, but right now it's getting chopped up. So we have to be mindful, like Dr. Bay said, keep your mic muted when one person is talking, and we take it off. Go ahead, ladies.
Like I was saying, I got slapped down, and then when it was brought to the attention of the right person in our family, the person, they was asked not to come back anymore, and they chose not to, and that was fine, because after they left, then it didn't happen anymore, so we knew who the culprit was, you know. And I myself, like you, Moni, I was protected too, but the other people that was involved weren't protected, because they was believing in the person's excuses that were being made.
What we have something else to say to that? And go ahead. You know, I just want to make sure that we're mindful when we're talking, so that way everybody can hear what's being said. And we have 2 messages.
I don't even want to talk about it no more. I really don't.
No, because it's triggering for you. So that's what I'm saying. Share that with everyone.
Right now, I'm just gonna.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm just gonna mute my mic and just quiet for a minute. Okay.
Much appreciation to you, Moni, for sharing that. I know it took a lot of courage to sit there and say, that's what I'm saying. We're up here sharing what experiences we've had in life, and taking the courage to say, you know what, that's not right. But that's why I said, moving forward, I done taught my daughter, if you don't feel comfortable, and she knows. So, like, I got to do one better. That's my nieces, my nephews. Let them know. People in the community that I come in contact with. Because it affects us all. It really does. And you see people grow up and they have these dependencies on drugs. Are they out there and being what you call, quote unquote, thoughts, hoes, promiscuous? She doing too much. But when you think about it, where does it come from? Where does it stem from? We cannot make this okay for people to do the things that they're doing and the harm that they're doing to others. We have to stand up and say something. Protect our babies, protect ourselves. We have to do it for ourselves. If nobody else is helping us, if we're not getting help from the government, if we're not getting help from the locals, the state, or whoever, we the people need to stand up and say something. Anybody who's a podcaster and you have a platform and you're like, oh, I don't want to talk about this because it's going to mess with my agenda, then you just adding it to the fire to feel, you putting gasoline on it. You have a platform, talk about it. That's what I did. I heard Dr. Bay talking about it, and he said that, and I did show, they talk about stuff, the triggering topics nobody wants to talk about. You want to know why? Because they care about the people. And I care about the people too, and that's why I am here saying what I'm saying. Because Dr. Bay touched me, and I said, we're going to find some solutions. If not, we're going to get the message out there so the people can hear this, because they need to hear this. We need to stop being so fearful of what may happen to us. Who else going to stand up for us? We the people. We're not talking about different nationalities, race. We're talking about all people in general, because this happens to everyone. I'm going to play these next messages.
Y'all know anything that is good for us, they're going to try to block. I don't care what it is. It could be some type of food. You got, what is it, GMO? They're going to do that. They're going to, whatever it is that we're trying to get out to the people that is right is going to be blocked. But the thing is, we can't stop. We got to keep doing it. We just got to be smarter than them and do it in a different way, you know? Yes. Now that kind of touched me right there, because I remember being a child and trying to explain to the adults that my aunt's baby daddy touched me in ways that he shouldn't have. And no one believed me. It took for me to be an adult and moving on with my life, and the son, his youngest son, to Google his name because they have the same name, and for him to see that his father was a pedophile, and it's all over the web, all over the internet. You know what I mean? Like, for me, that was torture growing up, but I had to get over it because all I had was me, you know? Like, I felt like nobody else believed me, but I knew I wasn't crazy, you know? But that's a whole nother subject for another day, y'all.
Much appreciation to you, Brianna Lachey, for sharing that with us. You know, that's what I'm saying. It takes a lot of courage. We've all experienced some type of, you know, I don't want to get into it because I'm getting emotional right now because you see that? No one believed her. And that's what I'm saying, that these babies know to say something and see something. We can do something about this and bring about change. So they ain't in fear of saying something somebody won't believe them. And somebody says, I believe you, baby. Now let's go get this person. I believe you. I believe you.
But that's why I wanted to say it's in our generation, our black generation, that it was kept a secret. You couldn't say nothing. So that's why didn't nobody believe her, because they didn't want to believe it. It touches me, it hurts me that we was all taught not to say nothing. But my mother taught us, somebody do something, you better come tell me. And I taught my daughter the same thing.
And that's the whole thing, like Demi is saying, we have to keep talking about it. We can't be afraid anymore. That's what they want us to be fearful so that they can continue to do what they're doing. And we have got to stand up. Each and every one of us, we got to stand, we got to hold and be accountable. Each and every one of us stand together and help our brothers and sisters, because it's not just a woman thing. It's not just a male thing. It's a we thing. And we have to be the ones to say something. It's a horrible discussion. It brings up a lot of hurt and pain, but we have to heal. And that's what this nation need to do as a whole, is heal. Because all we've done is hurt one another. And all of this has got to stop. And like I said on previous podcast, cast, God's not pleased with this. We have got to learn how to love ourselves and each other. Because as we see, this is not just about a certain race, not how much money you have. It's about people. And we have to learn how to love one another and get along so we can start having these hard conversations.
Excuse me, y'all. I'm taking some deep breaths over here because I wasn't triggered, but I feel the emotion and pain behind each person sharing what they've been through. And that's the thing. We have to be able to sympathize and empathize and have compassion. And also, like as I mentioned before, you see something, you say something, you open up your mouth. It doesn't matter how somebody else going to look at you differently. Just know that you may have saved that child's life, or you may have saved them from continuous torture, or you may have sat there and be able to heal that person. When Rock said something about healing, yes, we need to heal, because there's so many people out here that experience so many terrible things in life. And they out there continue to do the same terrible thing because that's all they know.
But one person can spot that out and say, what's the pain? What have you been through? And not judge them for what, because some people like, oh, they might judge me because I have done this or that. But if you could understand where it comes from, you could help them heal from that, and they can move past that. Yes, we have people out here who are sick in the head. But where does that sickness come from? If you can identify it and get them the help that they need. That's what I say. These people out here, it didn't just happen overnight. It had to start from somewhere. I'm going to play this next message.
Well, family, I definitely want to extend, a level of compassion for all of the things that have happened to us personally in the past, to us collectively in the past, and all of that. Yet I absolutely want to bring attention to the right now, so that we realize that now is our opportunity to change our reality. Because if we don't take the steps to change it, then it continues, it expands, and it's working against the betterment of the people. So, super honors and respect for all of the things that we have gone through, but we have to take charge, reclaim the reins of our own minds, our own hearts, and establish a right now. We're going forward, we're changing our narrative, we're in control of our narrative. And we have to have a narrative that does not include things from a local household all the way up to a government level. It all must stop. Power up.
Power up. Much appreciation to you, Dr. Bay. And anybody who's listening, if you have any solutions, let's talk about it. You said everybody's sitting here listening and just listening. If there's anything that you can share, please share. And and we're going to continue to talk about this. I just wanted to bring this attention and awareness to people now because I'm putting it on my platform. So now I'm making it my mission to do, what can I do to help save the babies?
What can I do to help save the babies?
We need solutions. What are the solutions? We mentioned some earlier in the show, as bringing awareness, talking about it, being open about it. You see something, say something. Don't be fearful of what somebody might say about you, or if somebody's not going to talk to you anymore. My heart is heavy right now. It really is, because just thinking about all the children out there that, you can't save everybody all in one day, but if we make a collective effort, we can save a lot of these babies out here. We really can. Instead of focusing on having these podcasts about things that is trending, the drama, and all the other stuff, what about I'm just going to mute my mic. Go ahead, Rock. You have something to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to say less than 1% of missing children get taken by strangers. Less than 1%. So that's telling us it's right in your own backyard. Less than 1% of missing children get taken by strangers. That's statistically. Around 8 million children are reported missing each year worldwide. So if it's not human trafficking, where are they? We're not running into them in the grocery store when we go there. We're not running into them at the gas station. Who has them? This is serious. And we have to remember our childhood issues, the things that we went through and how we did. Some of these kids don't even have half of the courage or the know-how to even get past the stuff that we made it through. That's why these young kids are committing suicides, because they don't have nobody that they can trust to talk to. That's why we have to watch the words that come out of our mouth. Our words have power when we're talking to kids. You don't know what that kid has been through. Even a kid in your own family. You don't know what that kid's been through. That's why we have to change. That's why I say it starts with self. We change one person at a time. We have to watch how we talk to each other. We have to sit back and listen to one another. Because we can hear all we want, but are we listening?
Key point, you said listening, and active listening is one way that we need to start really, not listening with the intent to respond, but actually listen to that person and what they're going through. A lot of people don't want to open up because, like I said, in fear of what somebody else may think about them.
But we need to let them know that it's okay and it's a safe place and a safe space to express yourself. We need to make more safe places and safe places for people to express themselves. And my words are getting a little bit jumbled here because the emotion I have behind it, because experiencing some things in life and also just listening to the stories, it touches my heart and we have to take action. I'm going to play these next two messages.
Well, family, one of the messages that I left that they X'd out, I'll try and leave it again, but it was in the area of correcting our status. And a lot of people think that that's about one certain thing or a particular angle, yet it's actually about the entire collective, realizing that we have all been duped. We're all part of a legal fiction, a corporate entity that has governance that does not benefit the people, and they're utilizing that lack of awareness, that lack of knowledge to actually inflict the people. So correcting your status is about removing yourself from the jurisdictional dictations of corporate entities that you have consented unwillingly or unknowingly to their jurisdictional dictates. Yet we have an option. There are options out here available to remove ourselves. I know it's a topic that many don't get into or may not be aware of, but it is an area that we absolutely need to look into, family.
Exactly. Grace and peace unto you, Dr. Bay. And again, if you out there saying, listen here, saying, the way that you know that you're listening, you're not talking. If you're talking while somebody else is talking, you're not listening. Because I really want us to get understanding and help one another. Because that's what we need. We need help. Like Dr. Bay said, this world, this stuff was never meant for us. So we have to start doing our own thing, and we have to come into our who we really are. We've been stripped of all of who we are. So now we have to learn who we are as a people, who we are as a person. And once we go and we figure that out, then we can help somebody else. So if you don't take anything else away from here, is to be mindful of what's going on around you. And just because the masses say it's okay, that does not mean it's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to stand alone. And I don't know everybody's preference or anything, but me, I know you can tell, I serve a God of my understanding, and a man named Jesus. He walked alone. He may have had 12 disciples, but they were around him. They walked in their own way, but he walked alone. He went up on that cross. He did his thing himself, and that's the price he paid for being an individual. And if anybody want to become famous, that's one way to become famous. Walk alone, and you'll get much more. You may not never hear about it, but I guarantee you, you'll leave a better impression on this world if you start and stand up alone, because then other people will rise up with you for the things that you're doing to make this country different.
Much appreciations to you, Rock, and I'm right with you on that. If you have to stand alone, people will follow. And I've always been a loner in my life, and I don't ask for anybody to follow me. But this right here, this is something that we have to do together. Yes, it may feel like we're alone when no one in our families is listening, no one in the communities is listening, but you continue to stand up. You continue to speak your piece. You continue to fight for what you know and believe to be right. We know that this is happening right in front of our eyes. Now we have to stand up and work together. Right now we standing up and working together. We got to maneuver in a way so that way we can take action, so that way we doing it in a way that millions of people are taken from out of this. I don't even have the words to say for it. This foolishness. I'm just going to put it, this foolishness that we've adapted and say that it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay with me. It don't sit right. And that's why I said, I waited for these ladies to get on the panel because we were going to have this discussion last week. And I said, no, ladies, I'm going to wait for you. Everybody's schedule was different. I said, we need to talk about this, but I wanted to bring awareness. So I'm here for it. You know, we can talk about all the statistics we want. We could talk about, you know, the different organizations, but we need to take action. So what can we do to take action? Was we come together with a plan? Yes, you have to come together with a plan. So what are the plans? And then we go from there and we take action. So we come up with solutions. I'm going to play these next few messages. You wanted to say something, Rock?
I was just going to mention again some of the solutions that we can take in order to combat this. And that's going into your schools, getting them to put it in the curriculum, to start having conversations about human trafficking, what it is, who is exploited, things to look for. You can go into businesses, you know, and become aware of it. The healthcare industry, let's start lowering cost so that the victims can get the help that they need, be it psychological, physical, going in to see a doctor to get checked out, things of that nature. Make some resources for them free. Help them to get back into society. Give them some job training, you know. So those are some solutions. You can go ahead and play the messages.
Well, this area entails people from all livelihoods, backgrounds, belief system, perspectives, angles. You know, everyone has the right to unconsent from things that they have unknowingly consented to. No one was given authority to govern and dictate your life outside of your consent. Once we realize that, then we realize that we have a choice, we have an option. And if the governments of the world are not set in a place to benefit the people, because they were all established for the betterment and the representation of the people. It was of the people, for the people, by the people. And at any point that they get to where they're not benefiting the people, we all have the right, as the power is the people, to abolish and recreate government systems that actually benefit the people. So be encouraged, family, and know that if you are seeking any of that information along those lines, definitely tap in with me. I will send you.
Did you hear what Dr. Bay just said? So if you listen and tap on his head and hit up his IG, he does send you information. I can attest to that. He sends me information, you know, just about almost every day. And that knowledge that I've taken, I'm collecting it, and I'm going to, you know, unconsent to the things that I was not aware of that I was consenting to. So if you haven't tapped into that, really tap into it and do your research. It takes time. Know that, you know, that a lot of research goes into it, and you really have to have the mindset to want to do that. Some people are like, oh, I don't know if I can do. Yes, you can do whatever you want to do. You put your mind to it. I'm going to play these next few messages. Did you ladies have anything to say about that?
And all of the things that have been used to keep us divided, keep us arguing, keep us bickering, you know, there are connected venues and avenues to correct that, because there is no power that can overpower the power of the people except the power of the people. This is why they keep us divided and at odds with one another, because as a collective enlightenment, as a unified force, there is nothing that can overpower that, and we are a power to be reckoned with as a collective. So honest to y'all, family, again, and there are solutions, there are options, and we are the representatives of those solutions, because we are the solutions. The ideas, the methods, they must come from the people for the betterment of the people. Power up.
Next, we have Fallback. Thank you for listening and tapping in, Fallback. I'm about to play his message.
Greetings to the panel and greetings to the participants. I've been listening in. There's a lot of good points been made, and this is an excellent program to, shall I say, podcast to bring awareness to the unfortunate happenings to our children. One of the things that needs to be expressed and recognized is that the world is being ran by the elite. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is some real life shit. And part of the elite being in charge is they abduct children. They use them for sexual rituals and blood sacrifices. So yeah, it's a serious situation. And what I mean by that is, it's an issue to us because we care. It's an issue for anyone that cares for children. You know what I'm saying? That loves children naturally. And the reason why it's not getting the recognition that it needs to, or getting the attention that it needs to get, because once again, the elite are in control of this. And for the people that like to stay asleep and always like to throw around, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, oh, them people crazy, oh, they don't know what they talk about. Listen here. The elite have set up crafty counsel and abducting our children and using them in sexual rituals and blood sacrifices. Is their way of life.
Much appreciation to you, Dr. Bay, and Paul Beck. I definitely want to get into this more and do some more research and talk about this topic again, because I do want to continue to shed light on it. You know, there's information that I'm, pulling together, and also I want to work with Dr. Bay and whoever else has knowledge, so that way we can continue to talk about this, because I'll continue to bring it to my platform. I have no problem doing that. And, I understand people may be triggered or whatever have you, but, we have to talk about this. We really do. And, I just came up here and wanted to bring awareness and get it out there. And, I'm going to definitely take down some notes, and I have been throughout the show, but I also want to do some more research because I want to get into other topics, because, I just put this together. So I appreciate everybody bearing with me, everyone tuning in and listening, everyone chiming in, because it is a collective thing that we have to get into. It's not just about race, ethnicity, color, however people want to say it. It's all the people. It affects us. And they're doing stuff, like Paul Beck said, for rituals, blood sacrifices. You don't think this is what? You don't think this is real? Keep closing your eyes. You better wake up and open your eyes and see what's happening right in front of your faces.
This has been going on for a long time. And we know in different cultures, they do different things too. Just like I was pointing out to someone about with the Indians, the Indians that wear the dresses and stuff. Not the native Indians, because I grew up with native Indians. But they already marry off their children. Like, they pimp off their own kids for a dowry. And then they come over here too. Like today, when I was at work, I seen a Indian girl getting married. The man looked like he was old enough to be her father. So yeah, it's happening, not in just in our culture. It's happening in a lot of cultures. It's some crazy stuff.
And to piggyback off of that, I saw a video where the family was poor, and this little girl was being sent away with this man. She's begging, please, I don't want to go with him. And she had to be under 10 years old. And this old man is dragging her by her hand and pulling her. I have to take a look at that video again and get where I got that source from. But when I saw that brought tears to my eyes. This little girl who is, they take little girls because they're virgins. Because I can raise them up to how I want them to be, have as many children as I want to have with them, and have them do whatever I say do. And the family got a couple $1,000s. So she's being sold away while she's torn from her family so they can eat. These are decisions that people are making for children that don't even have a choice or a voice or to stand up for themselves. It's heartbreaking. And for the parents to say it's okay, go ahead. I would never sell my daughter off to anybody for any amount of money. I will get 6 jobs if I have to. I would never. I would eat less.
But sometimes it's not all about them eating, because they got these rich Indians out here that they already, by the time they kid is like 18 years old, they have to marry that person. So I had a friend that I used to work with, and she was Indian. And her husband, she was 18 when she married him, and the guy was 46. So, and she couldn't, she said she had to ask her mother, she couldn't understand, why are you doing this to me? And it was because they had a bigger diary than their family. So they needed to merge the family. And the mother-in-law treated her like a slave, she told me. So it's in all different cultures. It's just different ways of them, different ways of abuse.
And I get it, and that's why a lot of them come to, this country thinking it is a better life for them, and they can get away from that. And I understand that. But at the same time, it's like, how can we help other people in different countries and break away from that? These arranged marriages. How can we help them have a voice in the choice? But you get into it, like, we already know what happens. They protect their family at any means, and you're not going to come over here and change my daughter's mind about what we already had arranged in our culture and our values, and this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, how are we going to maneuver around it? How are we going to get the help to these young ladies that have arranged marriages?
This right here is called modern day slavery. Remember,
yes,
another word for human trafficking, modern day slavery. You have right now on another place that they get our children from is online. A child is reported missing every 2 minutes in Europe because they're looking for different types of, they look for ones with blue eyes. They're looking for one with blonde hair. They're looking for one with brunette hair. They're looking for this shape, this height, this age, that age. So it doesn't matter. And we have to protect each other. Now, I know you can find your man when he's missing, but do you know that there's a thing on your phone down in the location? You can go in and turn it off, and it can tell you everywhere that your child has been. Everywhere. McDonald's, the next door neighbor's house, it'll tell you everything. It's the location inside your phone. Start using your phone, some of the things that's on your phone for good.
Now, you said something that triggered me. You said the location. You don't think some of these corporations are tracking the children by those phones?
That's what I was getting ready to get into.
And know where they're at. Okay.
Exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say. And that's not only being used by the parents, that's also used by these corporations and these people that you get on your child's on the phone. And if they can get inside your child's phone, and they can do it just like they can get into your stuff on a computer, they can get into your children's phone. So you have to monitor your children with these telephones. At nighttime, take your children's phone away from them. They don't need no phone at nighttime. Take it away from them, give it back to them in the morning, so that you at least know your child. That's one way, maybe, because I can't even say that for sure, that when you wake up in the morning, at least they'll still be in their bed, because there's just so much stuff going out here in the world.
But that's one way that at least you know somebody didn't abduct them, trying to get them into human trafficking. Take those phones away from these babies. They don't need them at nighttime.
And when you go into technology, another thing is these video games. You're doing something good for your child. You know how many pedophiles are out there playing video games with your child, playing as if they're children themselves, and then luring them to different places? Think about that. My nephew has a video game, and I tell his mother, like, do you know the people that he's on there with online? Yeah, I monitor it. How closely do you monitor it? Because if he's in his room 2-3 hours by himself, you're not monitoring him that closely. Excuse me, I just got a breath right there because we have to do more, people. If it means taking the video games away, if it means taking the phones away, so be it. For the safety of our children. That's just my thought.
Because what they're doing is taking the earnest off of them and putting it on the parents. You bought the phone, but they know why they made the phone. See, we have to start thinking. Everything that's out there is not good. If you do get it, understand why it's really being put out there. Is it really being put out there for your entertainment or for theirs?
Damn.
I'm going to play this next message.
I gotta get to my granddaughter.
That's crazy, man. Shout out to y'all. Check this, I found this out the other day. Since 2010, there's been 300,000 child marriages with some children as young as 10 years old in America.